Hello everybody! In today's video, we'll be talking about one thing that we shouldn't do if we want better relationships. This is the thing I want to talk about today, expectations. Relationships are hard, they really are. And they often really hard because what we want is that people become who we think they should be. Our relationships are really hard because we ought to defend our own interests instead of the whole for the sake of the relationship. And that carries a lot of expectations. This is the thing I want to talk about today, expectations. We have unreal expectations about our relationships, about who people are, about who people should be. And the expectation itself is something that will create this illusion in our minds, like an ideal of a person, an ideal of an action, of a reaction. And that really is not a good thing, because what carries the expectations in this sense also carries the arrogance in us and the belief we know everything, that we know better. That creates a lot of frustration instead of knowledge and closeness. We imprison our close ones in these unreal expectations about who we think they should be, and they aren't. And we become frustrated because we believe in our minds and our thoughts. We believe our minds are correct. We believe our expectations should be the right ones for them, for us, for everybody. So imagine an example. You invited your husband to go on a date with you, and he said no, not keen to. And you get so frustrated, and in your mind you think, he doesn't love me. What is he doing with me? He never does anything with me, and that goes on forever. What if instead of believing immediately in these unreal expectations, what if you try to understand what's going on inside of him? Maybe he doesn't want to go out with you because his bad knee is really painful today. Or maybe his boss told him he's gonna get laid off and he's just not ready to tell you. But it's easy for us to soothe ourselves in this sort of knowing everything cycle. And that is, in the long term, very toxic for our relationships. People are not who we want them to be. They are who they are. And of course, sometimes we force them. We try to force them to become or to be who we think they should be. And that works for some people. For a while. What happens next is a lot of resentment, divorce, toxic relationships, sarcasm, and all of that is awful for relationships. Criticizing, sarcasm, resentment builds up in poison in unhappy relationships. We imprison our loved ones in this little box where we demand them to be who we think they should be. Because we think we know better about their lives, about their own being. And that is really interesting. We even get offended when they try to express themselves, what they need, what they want, what they think. We confuse respect with an ongoing pleasing me, so to speak. If you don't agree with me, I'll feel offended. Do you know someone like that? Have you heard of the expression, respectfully disagree? Some people would not allow that to happen. All of this is only pride and arrogance, because we don't know what's best for the other person. Sometimes we know what's best for us once we have spent enough time knowing ourselves, discovering ourselves and nurturing ourselves and working on ourselves. There is no other way around We can't work on people for them, especially if we never worked on us. That is just not the order of things. First, we work on ourselves. First, we discover what's important for us and how do we function better, our values, our vision, our mission, like companies do, as a compass to our own lives. And that will create a lot of compassion for other people too, because by spending time getting to know ourselves, what happens is you discover that it's really hard. It's really hard to change whatever you think that is unhelpful. Unhelpful mindsets and habits are hard work to change. And when we discover this reality within us, we'll have more compassion, more empathy and understanding for other people. What if instead our judgy self-beings, thinking and demanding what they want from other people, what if instead we nurture our relationships with allowing the person that is close to us to be who they are, avoiding criticizing them in every single thing. Unless they ask your opinion, don't give it to them, because they're just not ready to receive other knowledge that is not from within. People need to feel free in our presence, and when they feel free, they feel in peace. They are joyful people. They are more willing to share, to help, to be with us. And that only happens when we take care of our own space, our own responsibilities first. We learn to respect, to be kind to our mistakes, and allow people to be who they are in our presence. One of the worst things that could happen to a person in a relationship is having to walk on shells every time they have to talk to someone, especially in a romantic relationship. That is not healthy and will not build a strong connection in this couple, within this couple, between this couple. I hope today this video that was a little bit harsh made sense to you and me. I hope that by listening to these words, you might resonate with any of them, and that may create change in your lives, in our lives, our relationships. I hope to see you here in this very channel next time. If you like this video, please like and share and subscribe. I know it's a lot to ask, but it's a pleasure to have you here. See you next time. Ciao.